Hi, I'm just going to demonstrate how to install FreeBSD so that you can install Hybrid Cluster. So I'm assuming that you've got some kind of install medium like a CD drive or a USB stick, and you put the CD in the CD drive and boot it up, and this is what you should see. This is just the FreeBSD installer booting up. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to pick your locale first, and then you press down once and go to standard to begin a standard installation. So this machine that I'm installing on here has just 16 gigabytes of disk space. We're going to devote the first 8 gigabytes, and you should do this too. You should devote the first 8 gigabytes to a system slice. Now on FreeBSD, slices are different from partitions. You create slices which are actually MS-DOS style partitions, and then you create FreeBSD partitions within them. Anyway, so this is the slice editor. We're going to create the first slice, and we're going to make it 8 gigabytes big. This is the system slice, so you can type 8G, hit enter, just press enter again, and then we're going to create a second slice which is going to get filled with a ZFS partition. So press C again, and that just defaults to the amount of free space at the end of the disk, so just hit enter and that'll use up the rest of your disk. So I'm just assuming that you're installing on a server with a single disk in it at the moment. For more complicated RAID Z setups and things, you should contact us and we'll give you the instructions for that. So anyway, just creating a default size partition there. So now we've got one 8 gigabyte partition slice, and then another 8 gigabyte slice. Now it's important to mention at this point that you have to go to the first slice which you're going to put the system on, and press S, which makes it bootable. If you don't do this, then FreeBSD will unceremoniously fail to boot the first time you reboot it. So now you press Q to install the standard MBR. Now you create BSD partitions inside of the fdisk partitions you just created. Now press OK, and we're going to ignore the second one, DA0S2, that stands for slice 2, because that's going to get left over to ZFS, and we just install in DA0S1, which is the first slice. Now we are going to create just one 6 gigabyte root partition, which is a file system and gets mounted at root like that. And then we do create again, C, and hit enter for the default, and that defaults to the rest of the free space inside that root partition, and we're going to add 2 gigabytes of swap. So in the first slice we have a root partition, 6 gig, and 2 gig of swap, and we've left the second slice completely empty, so the second slice should contain the remainder of your disk, and that's it. So we then press Q to get out of there, and this is asking us which distribution to install. We just press space on the minimal one and then go back up to exit, and we install from the CD, and we install. This shouldn't take too long because FreeBSD is quite a lightweight operating system. It's just installing the base system, and that's it. We have FreeBSD installed. Now we do want to configure an Ethernet device, because this will be the public IP address for the machine that you're setting up, and without configuring networking there's no way that Hybrid Logic will be able to log in remotely to your system and continue the installation. So we say yes, we pick the Ethernet card, which is the first one on the list, and just press enter. Now we don't want to try IPv6 configuration, and we don't want to try a DHCP configuration unless you have a DHCP server that will hand out a static IP address. So now it's up to us. So let's call this server1.exampledomain.com for whatever your domain might be. The IPv4 gateway on this network, and this will vary depending on which network you're on. It's up to you to know what gateway. 172.16.23.2. The name server, I'm just going to use Google's name servers, and the IPv4 address of this machine is 172.16.23.193. There we go. Just press enter, and then we bring up that interface now. Now we don't want this machine to function as a network gateway. We don't want inetd. We do want SSH. It's very important that you enable this. We do not want anonymous FTP or NFS or NFS. We don't want to customize our console settings. Now we do want to set the machine's time zone. It doesn't actually matter what you choose here, because it will get changed by our installer anyway. No, we don't have a mouse. No, we don't want ports. No, we don't want to add an initial user account, because our installer will do that. Now set up a root password that you can remember, and then exit the install. And it's that easy. Now the machine will boot up off the hard disk. And now we want to log in with root and the password we set up. And now you need to type fetch -o letmein.sh http hybridcluster.net/letmein.sh chmod +x letmein.sh and /letmein.sh. And that's it. Now you're done. You should write down that IP address, email it to us, and we can continue the installation from there. Thank you.